Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Sam and I'm a former teacher turned instructional designer working in tech. I've seen a few comments on videos recently about how to network when you're new to the tech world, and I wanted to share a few methods, whether it's in person or online, how you can network, how you can make connections with people that are either in the same industry or in the industry that you want to be in. So if you're curious on how to network and tips to get started, keep watching. So the first way that you can network is with LinkedIn. LinkedIn is an online professional networking site that allows you to connect with colleagues that you know or that you've worked with, as well as with other people in your field. It's kind of similar to Facebook, but it's for working professionals because people can post their thoughts, they can post their accomplishments, they can post open jobs on their team, any certificates that they've gained, stuff like that that's related to professional development and their careers. So with LinkedIn, there are two types of networking. The first is connections. If you send a connection request to someone, once they've accepted that request, then they can see all of your posts, all of your updates. You can see all of their posts, all of their updates, and really you guys can see anything that's on each other's feeds. To start networking with people on LinkedIn, I would suggest connecting with people that you already know, whether it's people that you currently work with, maybe it's people you've worked with in the past, or just people you know through friends, or maybe they're in some sort of group that you're in. Then once you've built up your connections, then you can start to branch out to friends of friends or mutual friends. LinkedIn has a feature where if you are looking at someone's profile, you can see which connections that you have in common, and if it's someone that you are pretty close with, then maybe you can either reach out to that person to help you make that connection, or you can reach out to the new person and mention that you know the mutual connection. One thing to keep in mind if you're connecting with people that you don't exactly know in person or you've never talked to, is to make sure to include a note when you're sending that connection request. Otherwise, that person might just feel like a random stranger is sending them a connection request. So make sure that you include a note, who you are, why you want to connect with them, how you can help them, etc. And remember, once you've sent a connection request, if they accept, y'all can both see each other's posts, each other's updates, each other's accomplishments, so just keep that in mind. The second type of networking on LinkedIn is called follows. Now, follows are useful if you want to follow someone who is kind of like a thought leader in whichever field you're in. It's more similar to following someone on Twitter or Instagram. It doesn't automatically mean that they're going to follow you back. A follow means that you can see their public posts, but you don't necessarily get to see all of their work updates and accomplishments. So certain people, maybe people that like to post their thoughts about whatever industry, for example, the instructional design industry, maybe they like to post a lot of things about it. You can follow them. They're not necessarily going to see any of your stuff, but you can see any public posts that they make. If you decide to follow some, thought leaders or people that you look up to, one tip is if you want to build that sort of community and network with them, you can comment on their public posts. The reason that they have the follow button on their profile is because they're okay with people following them, seeing their posts, and are open to interacting thoughtfully with people who comment on their posts. So if you want to build up that network, be sure to thoughtfully post on people that you follows, their articles or their posts that they create. So another online method for networking is online groups. There's online groups for instructional designers, software engineers, whichever industry or career you're interested in. You can find these groups on Facebook, you can find them even on Twitter, people find them on Discord. There's definitely groups on LinkedIn. It's just on you to search up different group types and see which one feels like it's a good fit for you. If you join one of these groups, be sure to thoughtfully introduce yourself and make connections and chat with people. Consider posting, your thoughts, your tips, maybe books you're reading, resources that you've found interesting to start networking and build that community that way. So the third type of networking is in person. You can search sites like Meetup or Facebook Events or Eventbrite to see if there's local meetings in your area for people in the similar field or field that you're interested in. For example, you could search up, e-learning designer groups in my area, or you could search up instructional design meetup. And you might be surprised that there's actually some events going on in your area. It might not be, next week, but it could be, in a few months from now, there's going to be something happening where you can meet up with people with similar interests, similar jobs, or similar career aspirations. In the same vein of, in-person events, you can always attend like conferences and, festivals for people in your field. So for example, you could find an instructional design conference and consider attending that. Usually conferences are multi-day. I'm sure you could find somewhere you could attend just one of the days just to see what it's like and make sure that you're networking with people that you meet there. It may feel intimidating to go to like an in-person conference, but maybe you have a friend that is interested in a similar field, or, just take that step and go to the conference whether you know people or not. I think you'd be pleasantly surprised with how it pays off. So those are some of my tips for networking, whether it's online or in person. If you have any other tips or any other questions about networking, please leave them down below. I'd love to learn and love to answer any questions that you might have. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.